Aloha. Welcome to Local My Life. Yes, this is different. We've got a Thursday here and I'm going live, but there's a big reason for this one, gang. Every day we all hear about someone who's gone missing. It seems like there's someone new every day, and that's one reason why we're all here. And every now and then you hear of someone and it connects with where you live. And sorry, someone wants my attention. Of course. And that's what has happened for me today. I woke up this morning to a message from Bob. Yes, little dogs. And during that message, I was reading about a person from the mainland, an author actually from the mainland, who just some really weird incidents going on here. And the more I read into it, the more I was like, oh my gosh. And to pull everything together at the end, it's looking like she's on Kauai now. For those of you who know me, I lived on Kauai for, about 3.5 years, something like that. So this area where she is right now is something that I recognize the stores that she's been, her phone's pinging it, things like that are very known to me. So even though I'm trying to pack, I was like, we got to come on here. We need to share this. Hopefully some of my friends who are here in Hawaii, whether it's on Kauai, other locations, because we don't even know if she might end up on another island at this point. We don't know. So we need to get the word out. So I wanted to thank Burden for bringing this case up to me. And while we let the algorithm do its job and get all the messages out to everyone and all, let's do some real quick. Miss Sleuth, hello, my dear. And Kelly. Jerry, how you doing, my dear? Taking back. I love it. Oh, my God. Okay, dogs are barking again. Kelly and Burden, there's Burden. Thank you for sending this to me, because the more I look at this, the more I'm like, guys, we're going to go over some things, and some people are going to be like, oh, well, she did this or she did that, or, oh, this is her past, or this is this or whatever. And you guys know how I feel about how these are human beings. It doesn't matter what led them to this place. Something is going on. And actually, in this case, I think there is something else going on, whether it's a mental health break or something else like that. This girl needs our help right now. So yeah, Sky Maiden, hello, Sky Maiden, and Mercy. It's funny, we all bounce around. And also, I love it. I feel like I'm with a family all day long. It's great. And I miss Nick. There's Jingles. How you doing, Jingles? Let's see. BC is here. Yep, let's get her found. And okay. And on that note, I think have everyone said hi to. Let me make sure I got my water, because I couldn't figure out why it was so hot in our house. Sorry, I know it's still mainland winter, but I couldn't figure out why it was so hot, and I'm sweating up sorry. This is loco packing for a trip now. I couldn't figure out why it was so hot till all of a sudden I walked out of this room and realized none of the air conditioners were on. So, yeah. Okay, Mercy, where are we? So what we're going to do, first of all, the person that you're looking up in the corner there and I'm actually going to bring this up now, is Faleena Marie Hopkins. And I did just stop talking about the heat. Yeah, I tend to do that. And also, Faleena went missing on the 30th. That was the last day she was seen. And what I'm sharing here, you can see, okay, with one of the pictures there, that one of them took place within jail. The problem is this girl, according to her family, this is a published author. Okay, as we kind of go further into it, we're going to find out more about. She has been, yes, Miss Nicole. And sorry, I just saw someone's message in Messenger, and I had to laugh at it. But anyhow, yeah, she actually wrote a number of books. She is a romance novelist. She actually was an actress at one time, I've even read. But in the year 2018, she actually went and tried to get the word cocky trademarked. There was a whole, whoops, guys, stop it. Okay. Dog's not playing, but just, yeah, they're playing, but too hard. And also, you may have heard that. So in 2018, she's written tons of books. She's actually written a whole series about the Cocker brothers. Okay, you guys can kind of get an idea. We're talking romance books. That series about the brothers went over 22 titles. So this is a successful, author. Okay. And out of nowhere, she starts this whole series of things around the end of January where she put her dog into a dog hotel type thing. Okay, she ended up driving up an area, getting into a car chase with police that ended up with, hey, KK, hello, and dog defender's here too. Hey there. So it just led one thing after another. Okay, while she was up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, in the Grand Teton National Park, she got into a car chase with police that ended up with police deploying the spike strips to slow her down, to deflate her tires so they could take her into custody. This makes no sense to her family. Okay, this is a successful young woman she's my age, 52 years old. Okay, yeah, it's not normal behavior for you to all of a sudden pop up, put your dog up, and then do this. Something's off here. And then it continued further. Hello, Jessica. Good evening, my dear. No worries. She was taken into jail for a couple days there. And then on the 30th, hello, Callie Dime. Yeah, and that's it. It's been this really quick escalation type thing where she was at home, no problems, anything like that, goes out, gets into this chase, gets into jail. A couple days later, on the 30th, she is set free. Okay, until she has a court date and all that stuff. And she walks out of the police station. Okay, the police still have her car and everything. And she says, 1 second, as she walks out, they think she's just going out for a breath of air, after you've been in jail for a few days and all that. Hello, Tammy. But she never comes back in for her car. So the question is, again, she's been acting different on top of everything else. Is this a case? Thank you, Callie, for popping in, and thank you, Burden, for sending people over. Love you, my dear. Is this a case of she's having a mental health break or something like that? Or did someone pick her up? Did she walk out and someone grabbed her? Or they didn't know what was going on at that time. So that led into a couple days. And I am going to we're going to go through an article that I came up with. I was able to track a bunch of information. And that's the thing, Mercy, we don't know if there are mental health issues going on here. We do know the police got very involved very quickly. They got a blanket warrant. So with that blanket warrant, as they found out what bank she banked with, things like that, they were able to start tracking stuff. Over the next couple days, 4 different states are now involved at that time. We're now up to 5. Okay, they had Wyoming, of course, Utah, because she was from Utah, Washington, California, now Hawaii. And it sounds like a mental health break to me. And I don't know if, of course, if you've got a reputation or anything like that and something like this happens, that can also add on to things. And that's why it's so important for us, guys. This is a human being that is going through something right now. And we need to get her home with her family. Sorry, I've got allergies. Something's in the air again today. So With that blanket warrant, they started trying to track things down. Now, I'm going to bring up a new I found this article literally 5 minutes before I went live, so it had a lot more information. So rather than just dealing with my notes here, I decided, let's go through this. KK, that's where we're going to get into, because the Kauai Now newspaper, their old newspaper, was able to put together an article where the initial information came was Hawaii News Now. And then there was a YouTuber that I was watching who's been covering her case also. And sorry, I can't remember what her name was. Yeah, allergy, something's in the air for sure today. So let's go through this article. Wrigley, go eat that big, nice, huge treat. That might take 5 minutes. I doubt it. So here, this came from the Kauai News, and this here, you're looking at the picture of Faleena. I mean, she's a gorgeous, again, she's 52 years old. She doesn't look 52 years old. And yeah, exactly, Mercy. And that's the thing. There's so many potentials here, and we don't know. We don't know anything about it right now. However, what I can say right now, before we even get into this article, they did track a new phone. She bought a new phone, which we're going to find out in this article. And from that new phone, they started getting pings. And the police have done an amazing job on this right now, as you're going to see as we go through it. But these pings are showing up on Kauai. And I'll bring up a map and all for you also. But real quickly here, and I know, Burden, you're going to be going live after this. So as soon as I get done with it, I'm going to try to get us back to you real quick, too. 52, yeah. Romance novelist and actress Faleena Hopkins, who wrote the Cocker Brothers and Werewolves of New York series and starred in the 2020 drama Just One More Kiss, went missing 16 days ago. And now Wyoming police officers believe she's on Kauai after tracing pings on her new phone. Lieutenant Russ Rushell, with the Town of Jackson Police Department in Wyoming, said his agency is investigating a potentially endangered missing person because of her erratic behavior displayed by Hopkins. It included leading National Park Service on a 24-mile high speed, they got up to 90 miles per hour, chase in Wyoming. Detectives working on the case believe that she is on Kauai due to cell phone tower records that show pings multiple times on Tuesday between Waialua and Kapa'a. Her phone also pinged in the area of the Walmart in Lihue. And I will pull that up on Google Maps for you guys in a second. Hopkins was reported missing by friends and family about 10 days ago when they became worried. But Hopkins has not been seen since January 30th. The same day, Chief U.S. Magistrate Judge Kelly Rankin released Hopkins from Teton County Jail in Wyoming on her own recognizance. She is on the Wyoming missing persons list. Yes, Mercy, this is the thing. She left her phone there. Okay, and I think in this article is where it talks about they actually were able to track that she bought a phone while on the mainland after disappearing. And then they were able to kind of start building up to find out where those pings opened up from. Hopkins, a white female, approximately 5'7", 135 pounds, green eyes, blonde hair, has multiple tattoos, an infinity symbol on her left wrist, follow on all instincts on her right wrist, a lion face on her left shoulder, and a hummingbird on her right ankle. 3 days earlier, Hopkins had been arrested after the high-speed chase in which she reached up to 90 miles per hour. Officers deployed spike strips to deflate her vehicle tires. The officers had initially approached her because she was parked in the middle of the road. Thank you so much, Burden. I love you. You're the best. You're the best. And they need to define erratic. Yeah, they are. And that's the thing. I think from what I'm getting here, this is a woman, think about, to be able to write this many books, follow deadlines, the stress of all that, everything else. She was successful. She's a successful young woman. Okay, and I'm going to say young because I consider myself young. Okay, I'm sorry. 52 is young in my eyes now. And also, about an hour before the high-speed chase started, park officials had pulled her car from the snow after it got stuck. Okay, so she's driving in the area, got stuck in the snow. She was cited for operating a non-snow vehicle in an over-snow route. So chances are she didn't have snow tires. She didn't have chains on it. Yes, I know about chains. I lived in Denver for a while. But you have to have, for those of you who don't live in places, my friends here in Hawaii, okay, you have to have specific types of tires or chains, things like that, when you are driving in a snow route, especially at this time of the year. Rochelle said they have security video showing Hopkins walking right past his office after leaving the detention center. So there is video. After receiving the missing persons report days later, officers discovered immediately after getting out of jail, she took a Delta flight to Salt Lake City, where she went to a Verizon store and bought a new phone. Now, if I recall from my quick research, she actually was from Salt Lake City area. So she goes home, gets herself a new phone. But that is where the trail gets really fuzzy and kind of weird. When the first ping of the Verizon phone belonging to Hopkins occurred, Rochelle said he was not trusting it because it was 400 meters offshore of Kapa'a Beach. Okay, I'm going to real quickly switch us over to Google because I think it's going to be important for you all to be able to see what this area looks like. Let me just pull this here. Okay. So before we go any further, this is the island of Kauai right here. Okay, give you an idea where it falls in the chain. Here's Honolulu, Big Island. Kauai is up here. It's the most northerly of the islands, or the main islands. When she came in, she would have had to have landed at Lihue Airport. Okay, so this is the airport. There's only one airport on the island. And welcome, Kelly. And so after that, there's a lot of possibilities. First of all, they're saying, and I'm not sure exact location, but the first time they saw it pinging was 400 meters in the ocean. So it truly could have just been, there's a lot of mountains here you can see here. Okay, Mount Waialeale right there is super tall and a lot of rain, things like that. The other important thing to know about this island, there is no way all the way around the island. Every other island has a way that you can traverse the whole outside. This island, you can go from around in this area, Pulihale, okay, up to this area, okay, the Nepali Coastline Wilderness. Well, it's actually closer to this area right here. Okay, there is no road beyond that because it's all cliffs and it's all pretty treacherous. You can actually hike it. Okay, and it's actually something a lot of us would do, is hike these areas. But there is no way of driving around it. It is, if you go up in that area, you are hiking, you are camping. Now, so she landed, sorry, I'm not seeing all your messages here. Okay, there. Now I can read what you guys. So if she landed here, okay, at the airport, there's been two areas they're going to talk about in here with where she was pinging. Okay, and it looks like they followed her pinging for quite a few hours just to find out and make sure that she was definitely on island. The first that I suspect, my suspicion is they would have gone first, knowing this area here is the Walmart. So you can see how close it is actually right there. Okay, I mean, I used to live down in this area, right over in this area. So the Walmart right here, she probably came to Walmart to load up on whatever she needed, supplies, food, whatever it was she needed. Okay, which is good. The fact that she was looking at getting supplies and stuff like that is very, very good. Now, the next place they talk about is her phone pinging in the area between Waialua and Kapa'a. So I have gone and put these two areas here. This town here is Waialua. This town here is Kapa'a. This area here has some gorgeous beaches that a lot of people love to hang out at. There's a couple beach parks in this area. Okay, so that's what we're actually talking about, is in this area And now was her family about, yeah, it's, I'm sitting here reading some of the comments and but, it gets kind of interesting with these areas because there's so many connections and how people talk with each other in the area. Locals, things like that. Hey there, Jeffries, Corn, how you doing? So is she, my initial thought would be she landed here at the airport, dropped off at Walmart, and she may have been working her way up towards Princeville is noted as the Howley place. That's where most of the tourists tend to love to go up there. Okay, vacation rentals, things like that are up in that area. And if you continue going there, you're going to finally hit the end of the road. Okay, up here in Honolulu and all. So let me know if you need me to bring back the map, but that gives you an idea of the location we're talking about. Let me go back to the article now. And let me stop that screen and because they had a lot of new information that I had not heard about at the time. So let me just pull this up. Yeah, there seems to definitely be a lot of activity going on here, which is positive in my sight. Okay, I'm really hoping that means that she's just trying to get away for some time or something. That's what I'm hoping. So anyhow, the first ping, okay, happened off ocean. So they were like, let's give it some time and all that. But pings continued at Kapa'a Beach to Waialua to the Walmart in Lihue. So she's staying on that east side of the island pretty much. We got almost 12 hours worth of data from the cell phone, suggesting she was on the island. So they didn't just run right away. They let that data build up for 12 hours first, which I was really impressed to hear. Another reason they believe she is on Kauai is right after a detective sergeant called Hopkins' cell phone and left a message on Tuesday, the phone was then shut off. So that's the reason why I'm happy they actually tracked it for that 12 hours first, because if they had called right away, the phone would have been shut off immediately. And at least now they have a little bit of data to work off of. Rochelle said there is concern about her mental state because she is acting out of character. She is a noted romance author, successful author, not the kind of person to leave her home and drive for 10 hours overnight and get in a pursuit with law enforcement in the middle of Wyoming. Something does not make sense. She also abandoned her dog at an animal shelter and her car at a towing company impound lot. Those two things are what worried me the most. As someone who loves their dogs, I could not even comprehend abandoning my dog in an animal shelter. This is why, guys, there's too many things that just don't make sense for someone. I'm thinking we're talking more on a mental health type thing. It's not good. It's not good at all. And that's why we need to get her home with the support of family and all, because something's happened here. Hopkins' romance series includes Cocky Heart Surgeon, Cocky Cowboy, Cocky Rock Star, Cocky Romantic, Cocky Roomie, Cocky Senator. She's also authored Werewolves of New York series. So her bookbub.com author page says, Faleena Hopkins specializes in love stories about good people with strong family bonds in both books and film. Find out more on her website. She does have a website. Hopkins did, by the way, I did not share with you guys this article. If anyone wants to follow any of these links at any time to look into more stuff on her, please feel free to. She did go through a professional ordeal in 2018. So she's been through stress before. And that's why I think this is important to bring up. She has been through stress before. Okay, she made national headlines for registering and receiving a trademark for the word cocky, which I did not know that the word cocky is trademarked, but I guess it is. Romance novelists everywhere were outraged, and Hopkins ultimately surrendered her trademark registration. Okay, got it. Interesting, but think about the stress that had to surround that at that time. Okay, that had to be a pretty stressful ordeal. And it doesn't sound like she had this type of response at that time. So something's going on right now. Hopkins is also an actress and was the lead in the 2020 romance drama Just One More Kiss, for which she won an award. Russians said that the only remote connection they could find of Hopkins to Kauai is that her biological father may have lived on Oahu at one time. So she doesn't have, I thought initially maybe being an author, successful author or something, she'd gone to Kauai. It's a place that a lot of famous people do like to go. I thought maybe that's what was going on and she was just going there to hide or something. Yeah, I hope we don't get, thank God she dropped it. And also, but the only thing that is tying her to the islands, and it's not Kauai, is her father may have lived here years ago. She is scheduled for her next federal court appearance on February 28th. She's charged for stopping or parking on the roadway, operating in excess of the posted speed limit, and fleeing or attempting to elude police. Rachel said his agency has reached out to Kauai Police Department for help in their search. If anyone has any information about her, please contact the Jackson Police Department guys. If you happen to be one of my friends or viewers that are here on the islands, honestly, at this point, you call 911. Okay, the quicker they can react to something, the better. And I think 911's your better bet at this point. So that's the article. Let me pull us back here now to this so we could go through this. Yeah, she's definitely, we don't know exactly where she is right now. Okay, yes is the east side of Kauai. But anyone who's been on Kauai knows it doesn't take long to drive from the Kauai east side to the west side. Okay, you're there within an hour-ish, hour and a half-ish, depending on traffic. Well, depending on traffic, yeah. And so there's a lot of possibilities there. A couple hours, and she could circle as much of the island as she needs to. So I don't know if they happen to know about any vehicles or things like that. It looks like they've done some great research, but at this point, we need to do what we can at getting the word out. So if any of you guys know, and the reason why I wanted to even cover this here is, yes, my friends who live on the islands and all might be over there on vacation right now. Some of them live over there, things like that. Keep an eye out. But for those of you, even on the mainland, you may know friends that are on vacation here right now. That happens quite often. I get calls from someone, oh, I was there last week, or things like that. So if you know anyone who is in the chain right now, anywhere in the chain, okay, because most likely they're looking for her at the airport. But, guys, I'm going to be realistic here. Hawaii is very laid back, especially on the neighbor islands. And yes, I'm sure they're looking for things, but if she got that phone call and was like, oh shit, they know I'm here, she could have jumped a plane before they let anyone know anything, and she could be on another island at this point. So we need to keep all the information out that's possible. So if you guys can help us with that, let me pull up her poster here. And so she's been missing. Her last contact was January 30th in Jackson, Wyoming. Okay, as I mentioned, she has multiple different states that she has been seen going to or have been involved in this search. But Hawaii is where we are focused at this point. She's 52 years old. She looks younger than that, though. She's 5'7", 135 pounds. She has blonde hair, but that blonde, honestly, the more I'm looking at pictures, it's looking more strawberry blonde to me than blonde. And you've got the sun out there. If you're going to see her out there, you're going to see her in the sun. And my gut is saying she's got strawberry blonde hair and green eyes. Okay, she does not know the islands, so she's going to feel like a tourist. She's not going to feel Kama'aina at all. So Faleena is thought to be traveling, and her phone has pinged in Hawaii on the island of Kauai. She has a tattoo. She's got plenty of tattoos to take a look for. Okay, she's got infinity symbol on her left wrist. The words follow all instincts on her right. A lion face on her left shoulder and a hummingbird on her right ankle. So chances are you're going to be able to see some level of tattoo if you see her. Okay, she may even be wearing shorts because, again, yeah, those of us who hear, yes, we're wearing long pants right now and stuff like that, but most tourists are not wearing long pants right now. Okay, if anyone has any information, maybe you were on a plane and happened to see her on the plane at the time. Okay, maybe you were at a store or who knows, even on the mainland. She had to travel from Wyoming all the way to Utah, okay, to Hawaii. Many people had to have run into her. So please contact 911 or the Jackson Police Department at 307-733-1430. So I've got posters up in Discord. I will repost the posters on community tab. Again, I really want to thank Burden for sending me this case today because I'm worried about frame of mind right now here. I can understand why her family is worried about it. And also, I think Burden is going live again this afternoon. I went a little longer than I wanted to, but I'm hoping, okay, everyone heads over her direction when she goes live again and can hang out. There's a lot of stuff going on the mainland right now. And I'm going to go back to packing. And so I hope you guys have an amazing night. Okay, have a great day tomorrow. I will not be going live for our Mental Health Friday. Sorry, guys, about that. I will be on a plane at the time. So think about me flying across the Pacific. So love you guys tons. Aloha. I love all of you guys. Tons and tons and tons. I hope you guys have a great day. And yeah, thank you so much. Aloha, mahalo, and definitely head over to Burden and check out what she's talking about right now because there's a lot of different things being discussed. So love you guys tons. Aloha, mahalo, and laters.